Hello everybody, here you are inside my light box with me. I wanted to get right into this video. I didn't want to waste a lot of time in the beginning, so I didn't go camera up. I just want to welcome everybody in. Thank you all so much for joining me. And I just wanted to show you the jewelry I'm wearing today. This one is 18 karat gold, and you've seen this in prior videos. It's fancy colored diamonds and also fancy colored sapphires in 18 karat gold. It's by Jonathan Lau of Artsco, and I believe Jonathan, well, when I bought this from him, he was located in Dallas, Texas. So that's my ring. It does convert to a necklace. You can take it off of there and wear it as a pendant, but I loved the gesture and the lines and the gracefulness of that octopus. Beautiful craft and beautiful stones. Then this one, I'll take this one off because it's easier to see while it's off. And I forgot to thank you all so much for being here. So thank you very much. This ring I had designed, and I forget Michael's last name. I'm going to blank out on it, but I've had this for since 2008, and I wear it a lot. This one's 18 karat gold, onyx, and diamonds, and I have this custom made. And let's see here. Let me see if I can find the signature. It's on the inside somewhere. I don't see it on the inside. Let me take a closer look. Nope, I don't see it anywhere. But anyways, it's signed on the inside by the designer. And why I show this is I don't usually buy contemporary designed goods, but when I couldn't find an Art Deco original, I raced to a really famous designer and I said, can you please make me this ring just so that I can have it and get it over with? And he did a Euro shank, and it's so balanced and it's so beautiful, and he did a great job. And I love this ring. It's very streamlined, very much so about the materials. The onyx ball is just beautiful. So I wanted to show you that because you always ask about what I'm wearing, and that's the ring of choice today. And then this bracelet. I had bought this I don't even know, a day or so ago. I lost track of my days, but look how beautiful. It's sterling silver and amber, and let me show you that it does blacklight. And I want to give you as much information about stones as I possibly can, but that's genuine amber. That does blacklight so beautifully. But the amber stones are a genuine egg yolk and then a sterling silver electroformed. So again, it's wax underneath that metal. So it's not solid sterling, but it is sterling silver, almost like a foil. Oops, sorry about that. Almost like a foil. Let me slip that off for you, and then I'll put it right back on. But I wanted to show you today was kind of a catch-all video. There you go. You can see the construction of that, and the amber stones are just beautiful. And I only paid $100 for this, but look at the back, the way it's constructed. So when you see that, don't think that that's plated, because it's not. It's electroformed. So there's wax around these amber stones, and then 2 electrodes are put on, and then sterling silver is grown right onto the amber. So there's really no space in between that amber and the metal. It's kind of like melted right on there. But that's how it's formed. It's an electrochemical process, and silver is actually grown onto the wax. So there's a wax body underneath this silver. But look how beautiful the construction was on that. Very wide, very beautiful, and I couldn't get the $100 out fast enough. And it's just so beautiful and so well done. And I loved that for amber. Now, the reason why I wanted to make this video, I had found a couple things and I wanted to share them because this is important information. So this ring came into me from another dealer, and they knew that it was gold. I think before they had bought it as costume because the person that was selling it didn't know that it was gold. And I think that's the case, but it's not marked anywhere. It's not marked anywhere. There's no signatures. There's no hallmark for gold. When you start to see, let me get my pointer. When you start to see these soldered balls on the inside, that's because they wanted to make this a smaller size without resizing this whole shank system. Anytime you see those soldered balls like that, that's a very strong indicator that you're at least in the 10, 14, or 18 karat gold range. So just remember that. We usually don't like those when we go to sell these because then it does get uncomfortable because it kind of pushes on the finger to hold this then in place as a smaller size. But it is a good way to size things when you don't want to recut the shank system or reshape this whole circular form. Now, focusing on the stones, why I bring this on is this. So the dealer that sold it to me knew that it was gold, and they priced it for $280, and they sold it to me for $225 or $235. And that was even a bargain because of how thick the gold is and how heavy this gold is. But look at these stones. So when I first looked at it, I thought, those sure look like CZ. They sure look like they're synthetic. They don't look genuine. And then I looked closer with a loupe and I saw some imperfections and some tiny carbon spots, and then realized what I was looking at was a strong array of the most beautiful colored diamonds. Some of them appear to be irradiated. So what I'm doing is I'm going to send this off, and we're going to have a diamondologist, certified diamondologist, take a look at these stones very carefully and then also test them to see if they're irradiated. Now, irradiated would then change the color of a natural diamond. Some of these are thought to be natural. So the pink was thought to be natural, the yellow is thought to be natural, the red we're questioning. We don't know if it's an original out of the ground red. The blue appears to be original because of the way the color is, and the purple and this green, we're gonna have those checked as well. They'll check all of them, but it is the most fantastic array of colored diamonds, and the mounting is just so beautiful, so unusual. So as soon as I saw that custom-made mounting, that asymmetrical form, look at the thickness of the metal of this. Very important. We do need to rebuild a prong right there, so please watch your rings very closely. Have them checked once a year. That's what's known in the business in terms of vintage and in terms of diamond rings. If you wear them every day, that needs to be retipped. It would only cost around $30 to have that retipped, but check all the prongs on your stones because you don't want to lose any of your diamonds, let alone one that looks that beautiful in that green color. So have your prongs checked once a year. Just my friendly advice, if you will. So look at that ring. Beautiful. So from the $235 that I spent, now if these are color treated, the price will be less than if they're natural, of course. If I found a natural red that big and that color, we're talking major money. If that's original from out of the ground and not color treated, we're talking big bucks as well. But again, I'm not going to go there because I'm going to let an expert tell me exactly what we've got going on here. All right. And so there we have this beautiful ring. And I just wanted to show you, make sure you check your stones. So if these are, let's say these are color treated, the price is still going to be around $1,200 to $1,700. If these are natural colored diamonds, each one's going to have to be looked at and appraised, and that could shift the price into the $5,000 to $7,000 range. So make sure you check all of your stones. Just don't assume that you have CZ or crystal or synthetics. This one is a classic example as well. Now why I bring this on is we're still not 100% sure what kind of stones we have here, but that's because I'm taking my time. This is a very new acquisition for me. So this is solid 14 karat gold, and it was sold to me as gold, but I was very surprised the price was only $300. They did not know what the green stones are. When you look deep inside a few of them, you see a strong color zoning. You see an angular color zoning. We believe that we're in the family of sapphires in this ring. So they're green sapphires, possibly. Could they be in another family of stones? Could they be garnet? They could be. I'm not so sold on that. I'm leaning more towards sapphire, but again, very new to me, but they are natural stones. They aren't synthetic, and you can really see that strong color zoning when you tip this stone. You'll see some angular lines that go across it on the inside of the stone. See it right there? There's like these angular kind of color zoning. And you've asked me about color zoning before, so this is a great example. But look at the scintillation of those stones. Look how beautifully faceted they are. And each stone is slightly different in size and shape. So remember that as well. Now, if you saw this and you thought they were synthetic, I always say don't assume that you know. Have the things checked out as well. Could it be green garnet? Yeah, but to me, it's still not, you know. As what I've seen in my experience, these are green sapphire. So again, I will bring this back once I know exactly what we've got going on, but I wanted to show you, please slow down down when you're looking at the construction of things. And then, of course, look for hallmarks on the inside denoting the gold. And look at the construction of this. All hand fabricated and all soldered together. All these little spokes are hand soldered. This isn't a cast ring. It's not cast. This is all fabricated. Even if the gold hallmark wasn't there, look at the fabrication of things. Look at the way things are put together. And again, look close at the solder seams. I keep going over that, and I've lost a couple people on the solder seams, but what I'm trying to do is give you a visual catalog of what to look for. Sometimes I can't explain what to look for, but I most certainly can show you what I look for. So again, color zoning. Now, so I'll leave this here for a second. I'll bring this one on to show you about color zoning. This is not, let me wipe that off because it's got a big fingerprint on it, and it is, it's got some heavily abraded surface in this one. Why I bring this on isn't to talk about this specific ring, but look at the color zoning. Look inside the stone. See those angular zones of color, darker, lighter, almost like a rainstorm on the inside of the stone. When you tip the stone, study the stone. Look from all the different angles. Flip it upside down and put it on a white piece of paper. Let me grab a white piece of paper. I mentioned something and then I don't have it. The story of my life. All right, so look at this. Oops, look at this. So color zoning, nope, it's not going to do it. It's because it's, nope, it's not going to do it. Let me redo it this way. I'm so glad I'm so prepared. Let's see here. There we go. So look on the inside. Let's see if we can focus on the stone rather than the mounting. There we go. Look at the inside, and you can see that that's a natural stone. There are inclusions and imperfections. We're not really talking about that right now. We're talking about that color zone. Lighter, darker, mottled, more bluish purple on this other end as I struggle to hold this still. But we're talking color zoning. Now I think you may understand when I say color zoning, that's what I'm looking for on the inside of these stones. Now, the reason why we can see it in this one so prominently is the quality of the amethyst is very low in this. And it's a large stone, so you're going to see a lot of active color zoning. Let me see if I can zoom in from this direction. Let's give it a go this way. Nope, still not. I don't know why my box is so dark today. Nope, still not going to do it. All right, we're going to zoom back out. So I think through me showing you these things, that's what I look for, but sometimes I can't put it into the right words. This is a gold mounting as well. Beautiful ring. I don't want to, call the stone ugly, but it needs to be repolished. But look at the color zoning there on the finger. You can kind of see that little rainstorm. And then if you see that and it's divided more drastically, that's what color zoning is. So you can see where the stone is darker here and then lighter here. That's color zoning. So there you go, a little tutorial on color zoning. I'll bring other examples. Oh, and so I go back to this and I say, now look carefully at this one. It's a little less obvious because the stones are small, but you'll start to see these little zones that run across the stone. Those little angular inclusions are definitely, to me, in these stones, that's sapphire. And again, I don't want to assume that it's sapphire because there are so many other colored stones that it could be, but not, again, not with those inclusions. And again, I have to have it checked before I start going crazy and say that I know everything, because I don't know everything, but I know when I'm in the presence of a natural stone. Now, I have been stumped before several times, and I want to cover that with you as well. This is an example of how I got stumped. I assumed natural emerald because it's framed with diamonds, and it's in a platinum. Let's go on the inside here. There's the 10% IRID, and then it would say right here, platinum. So it's 10%, but it's a platinum mounting. And so what you've got here is, this is insane to me, because I bought this when I was young. I paid $80 for it. And just for the mounting and the diamonds, I would pay $200 for it today. So I did great, but I had always thought that this was a natural emerald, and boy did I learn a lesson. It's actually a lab-grown emerald, and it's flux inclusions on the inside, which makes it look like natural emerald inclusions. You can kind of see right there inside the stone a fingerprint. That is a telltale sign in this specific stone that is a synthetic. So it was grown in a lab, and then you might say to yourself, why was a lab-grown stone set in a platinum and beautiful diamond mounting? Well, the reason is because the stones, when they were lab grown back in the day, it was a novelty. It was new. It was technology. It was up and coming. It was money. It was wealth. For someone to have a synthetic stone back then, wow, science and ahead of their time. So that's why in the 20s, when this was put together, that's why it was put in platinum, because it was very revered as a beautiful gemstone. So chemically, it is still an emerald, but it's flux inclusions and it's lab grown. So there is a relatively, quote, fake gemstone, still tests as an emerald, but it's man-made synthetic, set in a platinum and diamond mounting. So hopefully that helps you out as well. So there are opposite sides of that, shall you say, you can't assume that you know. Now, let's see. I'm going to run out of time as usual. We're 16 minutes in, and I'm going to show you a ring that inspired something. So this ring inspired me back in the day, and this is a great 14 karat white gold, beautiful ring. And again, please note the wear pattern on the gold. So you've got this very, very, very rich surface of rhodium. And then see where the white gold is pale yellow? That's because the rhodium had worn off over the years. So when you see that, a lot of times people assume that it's costume because of that wear pattern. No, that's yellow gold, which is, pale white gold, because white gold, as I've said before, is pale yellow. It's never truly white. That's as close as to white as they could get it. So it's a pale yellow, and then rhodium plated. So rhodium is actually plated on the surface to make white gold truly white. So remember that. This was sold as costume. I bought this ring for next to nothing. I loved the style, the mounting, the cleanness, the most unusual mounting. Signed on the inside. Oh, this is 14 karat. I'm sorry. Oh, no, this is 10 karat. My bad. See, another blunder, another mistake. So that's 10 karat white gold, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. Sorry about the blunder there. See, it's further proof I still make a lot of mistakes. So that's 10 karat gold. Let me shut the light off. And then I didn't realize this when I bought it so long ago. Look how cool. It is uranium glass, and it's a chunk of uranium glass. Look at the way that's faceted, and then how it's tension set in these 4 prongs. Very modernist, very clean, very deco, very ahead of its time. I loved the way this mounting and stone were married together. This made me very, very happy. I'm so glad that I bought this back in the day, and I think I had to save up for it because maybe it was, I think it was $65, no, $65 or $75, and that's when I had 4 jobs. I was trying to save up money and pay rent and, pay bills, and I didn't have a lot, but I'm so glad that I saved up and that I bought this. But look at that. Isn't that an incredible cut stone? I loved it from all angles. I love it from the top. I love it from the front. I love it from the side. And I most love it from right there. That's the money shot. And so beautiful, so incredible. And the design of on the mounting. So this inspired the next thing that I'm going to show you. I had always wanted a very large peridot ring, and Tanya shared this on her channel, and I had worn this in one of my lives, and I bring this on just really quick to give you a quick view of this. So this is an incredible peridot. I believe that it's 31.5 carats, and I purchased the stone loose, and the mounting took exactly 1 year to construct. My friend Michael in Cleveland, he's an amazing designer, and he took the stone and I dropped it off, and he started to make some models for this incredible mounting, and it took him exactly 1 year and 1 month to construct this ring. So it is made out of 14 karat gold, and it is inset with the most beautiful and clean diamonds. I did splurge on this. And I show you this because I don't love contemporary things. I'm always a fan of the old, rich, things that are heirlooms or have a history or that were loved before. I don't love creating things that look like they're old, but this is something I couldn't find. I always wanted a gigantic, beautiful peridot. And I wanted it to be cushion cut, and I wanted it to be above 20 carats, but I also wanted it to be the most beautiful, true peridot green color and very flawless internally. And that was a tall order. This was very difficult to find. I think the search took just over 5 years to find the stone. And then, like I said, it took a year to mount this. He did an exceptional job. Look at the thickness of the shank system. Look at the undercarriage. Look at the way he finished it. All over is so beautifully finished, and I loved the slight bend here. He did the mounting in sterling first and then had me try it on, and I changed this design. It was a little half circle before, and I said no, I wanted it to be very angular and I wanted it to be a V, so he cut it into the shank to raise that up to give it some more depth of the mounting. So there were things that I had changed. I slightly changed this profile as well, and then I did change the stone setup just a little bit higher than he initially had it, but there was a reason for that. I wanted light to get into this stone, and I wanted it to be full of life and energy and love, but those diamonds and the frame, and I had to bring this on because you had seen it in one of my lives, and a lot of you had asked me about it. I'll set it here. The reason why Peridot is special to me, it's Jeremy's birthstone, but I've always been in love with that color. It's an undeniable green, and I believe that Peridot is one of only a very few stones that only comes in one color. I think there's a few other gems that do, but I'm not sure, and I wasn't familiar with which ones, but Peridot is one of the only ones. It's also one of two stones, one of just two stones that I believe that is formed in the Earth's mantle. So not formed in the Earth's crust near the surface. It's formed down in the Earth's mantle, and it's brought to the surface by volcanic activity and volcanic tubes that bring stones to the surface. And you know, the only other gemstone that does that is diamonds. That's the only other one. So Peridot and diamonds made perfect sense to put together. And that ring is just incredible. And when I wear it, let me slip my other one off. When I wear it, I just love this. And then if you do research, I can't get my other ring off. When you do research, you'll find out that there's a green sand beach in Hawaii. And I think I'm going to mangle the name. I think it's Papakolea. At least that's the way I think it's pronounced. Papakolea Beach, and it's in Hawaii, and the sand is green, and that's because the sand is made out of tiny little baby peridot that were brought to the surface by volcanic activity. Peridot is known as a stone of compassion as well. And who doesn't need more compassion in their life? It heals the heart chakra. There's so many things I could say about Peridot, and I would love to bring this back to a video and just showcase this ring. But I wanted to bring this on and show you that I needed good luck today. I needed to be protected, and we all need healing, and this stone definitely does all three. So I wanted to leave you with that as the kind of exclamation point of the video. You know, I always hold out and save the best for last. So I hope this video made sense. I wanted to show you a couple things to give you further education on gemstones and also kind of what to look for in fine metal. In the coming videos, I'm going to get much more specific. We'll zoom in on that. I'll get much more specific in coming videos, but I just wanted to show you a few of my treasures. And again, you know how I end this. I absolutely adore each and every one of you. Thank you so much for getting me over 6,000 subscribers. I still don't know what to do to thank you for that, but you are really giving me support that I never felt that I would get, and I'm so grateful. I don't know what else to say because then I get emotional, I start to cry. So thank you again so much, and you know how I end this. I love you because I absolutely do.